Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to talk about how Thalapathy Vijay's entry into politics has changed the conversation in Tamil Nadu. When Thalapathy Vijay finally announced his political entry and the formation of Tamilaga Vettri Kazhagam, TVK, it did not feel like a sudden event. It felt inevitable. For years, Tamil Nadu had been watching this moment approach, sometimes with excitement, sometimes with skepticism, but never with indifference. In a state where cinema is not merely entertainment, but a parallel public sphere, where film dialogues became political slogans and actors evolved into mass leaders, Vijay's move into politics was less a question of if and more a question of when. Yet, inevitably does not mean simplicity. And stardom does not guarantee state power. What Vijay has entered is not a vacuum, but one of the most complex political ecosystems in India. Tamil Nadu politics is not just about elections, it's about history, ideology, identity, language, social justice, and memory. For over half a century, the state has been governed almost entirely by parties born out of Dravidian movement. These parties did not merely contest power, they reshaped society. They altered caste hierarchies, challenged religious orthodoxy, resisted central dominance, and built a political culture where ideology mattered as much as leadership. Anyone entering this space without understanding its depth risks being consumed by it. Vijay enters this terrain not as an outsider, but not fully as an insider either. He is not a product of the Dravidian movement, nor he is opposed to it. His politics, at least so far, exists in an in-between space, borrowing its language of social justice, adopting its tone of Tamil pride, yet carefully avoiding its sharper ideological commitments. This ambiguity is deliberate. It allows Vijay to appeal to multiple groups simultaneously, but it also raises a critical question. Can ambiguity survive electoral politics in Tamil Nadu? To understand Vijay's political potential, one must understand Vijay the symbol. For over 2 decades, he has been one of the most dominant figures in Tamil cinema. His films are not niche, urban, or elite. They are mass entertainers consumed by auto drivers, college students, IT professionals, and rural village families alike. More importantly, his on-screen persona has gradually evolved from romantic hero to righteous crusader. Corrupt politicians, failing education systems, exploitative elites, these became recurring villains in his films. Over time, audience stopped seeing these roles as a fiction. They began reading them as intention. Unlike some actors who maintained distance from real-world politics, Vijay allowed this perception to grow. His speeches became sharper. His public statements became more calculated. His fans' associations transformed into welfare networks. This slow burn created authenticity. By the time TVK was announced, many supporters felt they were not witnessing a career shift, but the natural conclusion of a long political arc. But cinema constructs ideal worlds. Political operates in a compromised ones. The transition from hero to leader is where most active politicians stumble. Vijay's greatest strength is also his greatest vulnerability, his mass appeal. Popularity brings attention, but it also brings expectations that cannot always be fulfilled. In cinema, the hero fixes everything in 3 hours. In governance, problems survive decades. Voters may cheer slogans, but they also demand roads, jobs, water, and stability. The emotional bond that fans share with Vijay must now survive the harsh arithmetic of policy and administration. Tamilaga Vettri Kazhagam presents itself as a party of victory, not just electoral victory, but moral victory. The language is clean, aspirational, and intentionally non-confrontational. Corruption-free governance, youth empowerment, education reform, social harmony. These are noble goals, but they are also politically safe. Almost every party claims them. The difference lies not in what is said, but in what is challenged. So far, TVK has avoided direct ideological confrontation with either the Dravidian establishment or the BJP's national narrative. This strategy minimizes early resistance, but it cannot last forever. Politics eventually demands clarity on federalism, on language, on caste representation, on religion in public life, on the role of the center versus the state. Silence may preserve flexibility today, but tomorrow it will be read as indecision or fear. Vijay's true test will begin when neutrality is no longer an option. Another crucial factor is organization. Tamil Nadu elections are not won in stages or social media. They are won in political booths, villages, wards, and streets. The DMK and AIDMK have spent decades building this machinery. Cadres who know every household, leaders who manage caste equations, networks that mobilize voters on election day with military precision. TVK does not yet possess this depth. Fan clubs are passionate, but passion is not discipline. Online support is loud, but votes are silent. Translating admiration into turnout and turnout into victory requires structure. It requires leaders who can lose elections and still stay loyal. It requires internal democracy, conflict resolution, and the unglamorous grunt of grassroots politics. If TVK remains centered only around Vijay, it risks become fragile. Youth support is often cited as Vijay's biggest asset, and rightfully so. Young voters see him as relatable, untainted, and emotionally resonant. In a political environment dominated by aging leaders and inherited power structures, Vijay feels fresh. He speaks their language, references their struggle, and appears to understand their frustration with unemployment and inequality. But youth support is also the most volatile. It shifts quickly, it demands results, and it does not always translate into consistent voting behavior. Older voters, particularly in rural Tamil Nadu, vote differently. They value welfare delivery, local familiarity, and party legacy. For them, Vijay is still an actor trying politics, not yet a leader proven in governance. Winning their trust will require patience, alliances, and visible grassroots engagement, not just charisma. Media narratives further complicate Vijay's journey. Some outlets frame him as the inevitable next mass leader. Others portray him as politically naive and opportunist. Social media amplifies both extremes, creating an echo chamber where criticism feels like betrayal and praise feels like prophecy. Vijay must resist both temptations, believing the hype can be as dangerous as ignoring criticism. Every political move he makes will now be interpreted through power, not performance. Silence will be analyzed, statements will be dissected, mistakes will be magnified. Unlike cinema, there are no retakes, and unlike established politicians, Vijay does not yet have the luxury of being boring. He is expected to inspire while proving competence, a rare and difficult balance. Even if TVK does not immediately win power, its presence already reshapes Tamil Nadu politics. It forces established parties to address youth issues more seriously. It disrupts vote banks in urban and semi-urban constituencies. It injects uncertainty into what was once predictable. In politics, disruption itself is a power. But disruption without consolidation fades. Tamil Nadu's history is filled with moments that burned bright and vanished because they failed to institutionalize themselves. Vijay stands at that crossroads. If TVK becomes an organization rather than a personality, it could redefine the state's political future. If it remains dependent on Vijay alone, it risks becoming a movement rather than a movement. Ultimately, Vijay's political journey is not just about elections. It is about whether charisma can evolve into credibility, whether symbolism can mature into structure, and whether hope can withstand the patience democracy demands. Tamil Nadu has seen stars rise before. Some became legends, others became footnotes. Vijay's story is still being written. And for the first time, the script is not his to control. Thanks for watching.